Game number 2. All right, game number 2. Youngjae on Sejuani, Karis on Azir, Morgan on Renekton. Palu, I feel like actually his most played is Rel. I don't have that stat in front of me, but I feel like he plays it all the time. So 4 out of 5. Extreme comfort here for Bro.
Is that enough? We'll see, Valdez. I'm not optimistic, but I'm willing to be convinced. You know, we're going into this with some qualms, with some trepidation, but maybe Brian can finally show us why the Bro levers are out there. Well, I mean, they don't really need to do anything. The Bro levers are there.
I feel like they're there because of moments like this, almost more than because of fantastic drafts.
I do really think that there were... They were a team, like back in 2021, 2022, that did actually win a lot of games that they weren't supposed to. And I feel like that just hasn't really been the case. Faker going for Fleet this time around. I'm pretty sure he went PTA last time. So he's going to have the extra sustain. Same for Karis. Movement speed also nice into the Azir. The MF, I actually think coming out is quite cool. I do like this pick for what she can provide in terms of obviously team fighting power when you find good old combos, but also her laning can actually be pretty impressive if she does get a lead. It's a short range 2v2 into Kalista, Renata.
That's the thing, like, if you get a lead, I feel like you're picking this comp, you see Kalista, Renata face up, and you're like, let's lose lane. Like, I don't know, when you pick the Rel especially.
Yeah, that's...
Like, if it's MF Varus or, you know, something like, I don't know, MF Karma, or that's not really a lane, but... something like that you could challenge, but not this.
At least I'd much rather see something like the Leona and Nautilus, which you can't pick Nautilus into Renata, so like that makes sense. But I want to highlight is that, okay, well, as we say, that carry does get caught off guard a little bit.
He's helping. He's giving him a chance.
Very generous, really. Samver getting a good chunk there is quite nice. It's going to force the back to come through from carry as well, so at least that will provide some respite. But yeah, I think the big thing for me with Rel is that her team fighting is a lot better, but you do just sack lane. Because Rel doesn't have the damage that Leona and Nautilus do, which is why I think they have been much more prevalent. Obviously, Yen picking Nautilus into Renata is about as unfun as it gets, so that does make sense to me as... Morgan doesn't have his E.
Yeah, it's just a bait here. The red buff coming down and Morgan's just dead. I mean, he has flash, but he's not even going to bother to use it. That's first blood going over to Owner. Very nicely baited out here by Zeus, as it was looking a little bit dicey for him, but just meant that Owner gets the kill as the handshake is going to miss. But now Palu's very out of position here against the Kalista as the Ren comes out and he nearly loses his life as well.
That's a really standard timing as well. Owner didn't do anything crazy. He just literally full cleared from bot to top. So that should be something that Morgan definitely expects. If he doesn't use his E and just gets the crash in, he actually might be able to get out. Maybe, but not going to be the case. Try to go as aggressive as possible, and it backfires immensely. Now Zeus is just going to be able to TP back to his lane and be completely fine. Picks up a very early Bramble, which I don't think is the best into Renekton, but still provides you with armor and a good amount of shred. As you're saying, Val, it's just a bait.
I don't even know if it was a bait, to be honest. I feel like he wanted to take a good trade, but he failed it.
Nah.
But it was still good, because, well, he died.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of that with the brand also coming up. And again, this is as easy of a timing as you could get, so unfortunately for Morgan, maybe they thought that Owner started on top side. I'm not 100% sure what they saw in terms of early jungle tracking, but definitely a big win, getting the brand ahead early. It's the sole AP source on T1. There's a lot of beefy boys and health stackers, like, because Morgan is going to get tanky just from the amount of health he's going to get, which obviously Brand does exceptionally well in. And then if you itemize MR, then Faker and Guma are going to bonk you over the head.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an issue for sure. And Brandon's going to have a fun time in this one, as the double-ups have been nice from Samver. Owner's living his best brand life. He did full clear into kill, first blood into bottom side clear into dragon, which is very fast for brand. And he's just very far ahead. That's an early Chemtech Drake. Morgan is going to be able to get a nice chunk into the turret already. As Faker level 6 threatening Karis once again.
To see Karis doing a good job of navigating this matchup early. Obviously, the fact that Paul Bay made such big mistakes in lane in the previous game ended up being very detrimental. Allowed T1 to really snowball the game through mid-jungle in a much more aggressive way than I think otherwise they would have been able to. This is one of my biggest issue with the Tristana is that we do see Paulo on a roam here, but like realistically, she's so hard to lock down. Oh no.
Yeah, Morgan's in a lot of trouble here. Just gets pulled back into multiple members. His owner is even here as well. The preemptive swap coming out from T1. And everybody's just gathering up for some grubs. They only got one in the last game, but they're going to get a lot more this time.
Oh, the read from Brion just isn't good because Samver is now going to start to push the wave. Like, they'll be able to crash a big wave into this bot lane turret, so that's at least a bit of a win. We'll see if Morgan can catch the topside wave, then it won't be too bad, but MF, like, the wave clear is okay, but not really going to be that amazing, especially pre-6. If you can just hard shove that, might be able to get a second plate. Now I think it's just going to be one. With Owner still in the area, Morgan isn't going to be able to get any of this.
Well, they might be approaching this turret once Paulo comes here, but with Brand nearby, with Owner here, they're not winning this trade. It is a 3v2, and they don't seem to identify that. Oh, the handshake is just dirty as Paulo in a lot of trouble. Faker going to flash into the charge from the Sejuani. And yeah, he's going to die. So nice little play traded back here from Bro, and actually Paulo did stay alive.
That's a pretty big win here for Brion. Looking very different compared to that game number 1. Able to get Morgan his wave. Zeus did end up catching the wave, but Samfer still did a good amount of damage. Picked up a large amount of farm for his call. He is going to go for the wave clear ult there, as we unfortunately have to take a look at Morgan again. Brion just very caught off guard by this lane swap, something that we've seen a lot, right? Just to get the grubs. And with the Renata and Callista, because they have the tempo advantage, make an easy way over. As yeah, I wanted to give Youngjae the benefit of the doubt, but that was actually just straight up a flash when the Q was already buffered.
He could have just flashed the other way, like south,
Yep.
and he would have been totally fine.
Yep.
But I feel like Faker was like, no, I win these. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to get him. I'm flashing in. I'm getting this kill. So the neutralizing effect of Karis has been working out better this time in game 2. And a nice gank from Youngjae to get the job done. Has his Zeke's completed. Carry a level 5 here, looking for another cheeky handshake. And there it is.
We've already had 2 examples of people flashing into skill shots. So we had Paulo, who didn't die, and then Faker, who did die.
Hey, that was just a predict, okay, from Carria. For Youngjae, I'm not sure.
Sure. Good enough. Good enough. We're going to have to
We're
see.
giving them the benefit of the doubt, right?
You know, Brion with a team fight, wombo combo style composition, not being behind more than 1k gold, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Look at this. Predicting Owner coming in, and Youngjae going to get ahead of the T1 jungler as, yes, the ult will be thrown in. That's a lot of damage. Faker not going to get the jump in time. Now he's going to jump towards the north, but he's going down. That's a solo kill from Karis over Faker, and he will be punished.
Any bro levers out there? Owner tries to cut corners. They goes in, not having any vision in the brush, just gets found by Youngjae. Ahead of the curve on that one. And then in mid, Karis just gets the outplay. Ooh, Feldes. Brion coming alive in the second game.
That they are. They found a lot of nice picks here, and they have evened up the gold now. You mentioned before, a little bit behind, not a big deal, but gold parity. Definitely a nice little chance here as Morgan is going to dash the right way.
He would have died. Owner was waiting for his snack there. He's like, says, where's my snack pack? Where's my crocodile? I'm hungry. They didn't get didn't get his snack. Very sad.
Yeah. You bring any snack today? Outside of yourself?
Wow, I didn't have to do that. Just a protein bar. It's very boring. I didn't really bring anything of note. Really good read here by Brion. See the big stacked wave. Have an inkling. Has, yeah. Faker just jumped in. And then he gets the reset, but at that point it's obviously already too late. It's caught off guard, like by just the edge of that ultimate, which, of all people, Faker obviously should have an inkling that he might be swept back there. And at the end of the world, T1 still going to be up and go to 6 grubs here. I don't think they're going to be feeling too bothered about this, but it's a better game than game 1. And after seeing the draft, I didn't see that one coming, and it's a big win for the bros.
Sometimes that's the way it goes. The ones you least expect to be bangers end up being bangers. We do have Cloud Soul again. Atlas is not here, I promise you. He's taken the day off, which must be nice. You know?
Can't relate, Valdez.
Yeah, I can't relate. I hope he's resting up for tomorrow. And yeah, just Cloud Souls abound. I feel like it's going to be very valuable for both sides. Both sides actually did pick up a Drake in this game. T1 electing to actually pick up the first one with the brand in this one. They weren't able to get any Drakes in the first game. Didn't really need any, as Bro got 3 and then immediately lost.
They were instead opting for a cool new strategy where they just got every turret and not get any other objective. I think they got Herald and I want to say 1 grub. Yeah, they got 1 grub.
They got 1 grub.
Yeah, 1 grub, Herald, only some Void. As we do see a potential dive being set up here.
That's a handshake already. Paulo in a little bit of trouble, but he's not going to get hit by 3 abilities from Owner. As now it's actually T1 who are in trouble as a massive sweep. The combo! It comes to life! As Bro will pick up the kills. They will take down 3 members of T1. Faker does get in and takes out Paulo, but man, now we know what this comp does.
Commander Karis swoops in from the mid lane. Is it happening, Feldas?
It's happening.
Are the Bro Leavers finally getting rewarded after all this time? Really, I want to give credit, because you talk about the wombo combo, but the actual setup needs to be crisp. That was really nicely done. The fact that Owner tries to flash out, still gets swapped back in. The fact that
Karis, the commander, you know, he fights with the squad, and he is totally fine.
Of course.
Untouchable.
It can't go down. He needs to lead his troops.
Yeah.
He's the Emperor.
Well,
Vice
Commander. Yeah.
Well, he can be both.
Emperor and Commander.
Yeah, I think we should look into Azir lore next and see if he's the commander of the... I assume he would be, you know. Back in the day, I feel like Emperor's kind of all-encompassing as a title.
Samber in a little bit of trouble. Instant cleanse, though. Very nicely done.
Actually gets a whole lot of damage down. Obviously, Gumat bailout.
Look at his health bar.
Yeah.
It's full. So, nice trade for Bro.
Actually ends up working out. As we take another look at this, just caught off guard by Karis being first, and then that flash from Owner. If Owner is alive, I actually think with the Faker TP, they might be able to get something going here. If he can just get an extra rotation in, but he just gets blown up immediately, and with Brand, mispositions like that, you can't afford. And there it is, Magnet Storm. It's so satisfying when you talk about a wombo combo comp, and then it actually happens, and you just see how it can work. Oh boy.
Samber does have flash, but can he get out of this one? Yes, he will. The stun also hitting, and Samber getting out with the flash. So trading flash for TPs, not half bad.
Oh, hey, you'll take that. Might be in some trouble when it comes to the health of their turret. Faker is making his way over to try and take that down. It's going to be probably a Herald for turret trade. They do know Zeus is there. Was spotted on the ward earlier on. Paulo and Morgan heroically trying to keep this turret alive. I don't think they can.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. The Magnet Storm, very lackluster. The TP is going to get canceled. That's just not going to happen, as now it's a 3v2, make it a 4v2. Is Guma going to join up? Morgan, not very long for this world. The only question is, who do they give the kill to? It will be, in fact, Faker, unsurprisingly, who will pick up that kill.
There were a lot of decisions that could have been made there, and unfortunately that was not the right one. If Karis TP's in a little bit earlier, I think it would have been fine. I think in general though, if you're playing for Herald and you're playing for top turret, just let them have the bot side turret. Don't try to win the map on every side of the map against T1. They tried, and they got punished oh so heavily because now they lose their inner as well. 2 kills going over. And all of a sudden the gold lead firmly back in favor of T1.
You just get so much gold in your pockets when you're taking down 2 turrets and 2 kills at the same time. It's just kind of insane how fast the gold can swing. And Bro had a nice thing going, but unfortunately not able to hold on to it for too long. As we're going to have to watch this once again. Already the turret was taking so much damage, especially with the Demolish, which I think eventually does come in from Zeus once he sees the... actually, it was from Caria, the Demolish. So he's the one who hits it. And it just goes down so fast that Karis has no time to get in.
Again, I want to reiterate, I think you just let them have it. Like, you're playing on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Already, don't really need to go for this. Should be able to get mid lane with the mites. So that's it's not the end of the world for Brian. It just means that T1 is in a much better position. And I think, realistically, they should be in this game. I think maybe... How are you doing, Veldas? Is the fatigue setting in for you? Because maybe that's what's happening here.
Maybe, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit, yeah. No, I'm still okay for now.
Drawing that
second cup
one-to-one
of
line.
coffee.
Oh, you did?
No, I will.
Oh, you
at,
will?
7 p.m. as you do. We'll get there for Series 2 to keep me afloat. For T1, they only have to deal with this series, and, a couple of turrets did go over to Bro. And yes, T1 are getting some turrets of their own. This is kind of the Tristana special. If left unchecked, she just kills turrets very fast. And they got the bottom 2. They're going to get the top 2 as well. And T1 will maintain a lead of gold.
How are they getting both inners by 17 minutes? Last time it was 15.
It's because everybody on Bro was in mid. And they committed heavily to taking down that tier 1. And then everybody back, so nobody was there to stop the top push. Unfortunate.
Well, T1 back with a gold lead. Nothing too crazy. And I do actually... Again, the Brian composition will always be dangerous to play into, right? I think the main issue for me is that if you don't get Owner into a big sweep with Karis' ultimate, he's going to be doing a whole lot of damage. And the earlier kills going over the Faker means that he has not just hit his 2-item spike and isn't even that far behind Karis when it comes to gold. See the bounties parity there as well. To see what Brian can do. They are posturing pretty aggressively towards his bot side jungle. There's no objective up right now. I want to look for a fight. I don't know. Maybe over the blue buff? Could be. These choke points are good for Brian, though.
It is a very nice choke point, but you want to elect to just get out of there. Zeus is going to be ulted himself. He does have flash, but he doesn't want to use it, as now he will at the very end. Also, we do see the hostile takeover just sailing by. That is going to force Bro out of the choke. And they don't get much outside of Zeus' flash.
We also haven't talked about it as much yet, but I'm really happy to see Kalista not be lethality. Like, I think the opportunity nerfs really showing their mark, which is good. There was a lot of opportunities for everyone.
Yeah.
Which, from a conceptual point of view, I really like, but from an itemization point of view, I really didn't appreciate. Right now, Brian still have the team fighting power to win at any point, but like when you look at how the fights actually play out, that's where it becomes a little bit tough. Getting a good ultimate is really really hard for Samver because there is so much threat for stationary targets, right? There's Tristana jumping on top of you, there's Caria with his ultimate. They can get a pick though, that would be huge.
Yeah, it feels like Youngjae and Palu kind of leading the charge on all plays and just begging anyone on the side of T1 to overstep their bounds and just go a little bit too far, which, to be honest, I mean...
They have.
T1 have done that many a time in this game and in other games, and oftentimes it works out well for T1, but sometimes it ends up being labeled happy gaming, which generally not happy for T1, happy for their opponents. So Youngjae and Palu just begging for someone on T1 to get a little bit over-aggressive. But as of the last 5 minutes, T1 actually have been playing very balanced. It feels like, they're not taking any big risks. Yes, Faker has been pushing side lanes kind of unchecked, which could have been punished, but it wasn't. So T1 just enjoying a nice little lead at this point in time.
Yeah, I forgot at which exact era T1 gained back the, you know, you can always win a team fight no matter how far behind you are. Because I feel like there was a large part of like 2022 where they were really good early game and they had great team fighting, but it didn't feel like they really had that comeback as much as they did in previous years. And I think ever since we hit like what, Worlds 2023, that's been it's been very much there. We saw it very recently as well at DWC. We'll see if Brion can avoid that. And I know that we're talking about them like they're ahead, even when they're, you know, down about 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
But with the team comp, I really don't think it's the end of the world. The main issue is going to be how much can Zeus do. He is the only frontline for T1. He is the best frontline, though, especially with Skarner being taken away, which I think is good. I think we all had enough Scorpion for a little while.
Yeah, I think it was good. He had a nice big comeback onto the stage, you know, had his moment to shine in the spotlight, but then we were like, okay, that's enough. Let's sweep him over to the side of the stage. Let's get Cassante back up there. We haven't seen enough of him. How about Renekton? Now, Palu, okay, that stun is going to miss. Owner not expecting Palu to react quite as fast as he did, so props to Palu.
I don't know about the Q, but the crash down was good.
Yeah. Crashdown was good. He got out of dodge. He's fine. Now they're going to start up the Baron, actually. Very nice proactive, play from Bro. And T1 don't seem to have any idea, as now they are. The blue trinket does come in. And they will 100% know as TP now utilized by Zeus. But Bro, they get the TP out of Zeus.
That's clean.
But they keep this leash. Faker just going to...
That's not.
Yeah, gonna dash into 5 people, I guess. The fight's still going as Owner's in a lot of trouble. Down he goes as Carrier gonna handshake here. That's a double kill for the MF, who is now 5-0.
They're just outplaying them straight up.
True. It's not too difficult to do.
T1,
but they're doing it.
T1's just losing their mind. Brion, great Baron setup. They actually have a lot of damage with Karis. So the initial Baron setup is great. And then Zeus TPs and you're like, okay, you know what? Bro backs off, which I think is great. Good. Very clean play. And then that should have been the end of it.
Cut the tape.
That should have been the end of it, Valdez.
Cut the tape. Nobody wants to see
and then
that.
Faker just jumps in. And then that's... Yeah, that he shouldn't have done that. I feel like that goes without saying. Then the rest of Brion is very ready to catch the ball that was so graciously thrown by T1. And now they have Nash. They have an insanely strong teamfight composition. Criploom's done for Karis. And they're about to get Soul Point.
Bro are in a really good spot to win this game. I think they actually probably should from this point. I thought that T1, they were hitting that moment of realization where they're like, if we lose this game, we have to play another game. And I thought they were like, oh god, guys, okay, calm down. We need to win this one. We need to get the 2-0. But then they just went a little bit crazy, as you're mentioning it. And Bro are playing great. They're playing as a team. Everybody's playing very balanced.
It's the super subs.
Yeah, they had that one iffy moment in the bottom lane with the TP and trying to keep the turret alive. But outside of that, Bro have been having a very strong game.
All they need to make sure is that they don't have someone like overextend inside, go into hand.
It is, that's the ult, but it is the Fate's call to answer. And so they will be okay for now, but the Baron buff, Red Bull Baron power play is just growing in size. They will take down this mid inner.
I actually really like this from Brion. Instead of going and using the Baron for Dragon, they actually really maximize the pushing power. I think a lot of the lower tier teams especially are not that good at getting big Red Bull Baron power plays. They get, you know, like maybe a turret or two. I don't know if Brion is going to be able to actually get more, but more so the philosophy behind it, actually using it to push and then turning it into an objective as opposed to just being like, someone stand near the wave, we have prio, and we take it without actually threatening the turret. For T1, the outs start to become less and less obvious, right? We're looking at eventually, obviously, Faker's going to hit 3 items, Owner is going to be able to chunk through a lot of the health bars on Brion. But if Brion can just engage at will consistently and keep having Samver hit these amazing ultimates, it's going to be really hard for T1 to find a comeback. They're setting up some traps here. And it's not... Cloud Soul, I think, is tough, but looking at Cloud Soul, there's some great recipients and also some kind of mediocre ones, right? Like Renekton is obviously insane. I think for Rel, it's really good. For MF, yeah, they don't really get a whole lot of value. But the individual Drakes for MF are actually quite valuable.
Yeah, they definitely are. I think they're going to enjoy it just in general, even just for getting around the map, just for playing as a team, making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time. Just little things like that to give Bro a really good chance to take down T1. I said it at the top of the day, if Bro were going to have a chance to take out T1 in the current state, it would be today. As T1 got off a flight yesterday. They are playing today some League of Legends. And at this point in time, you know, the MF is going crazy. Karis also has not died. The Sejuani looking incredibly comfortable for Youngjae. We all rolled our eyes and shook our heads when we saw the Sejuani pick. And I think, in theory, it's probably still not the right pick. But
I'm sticking.
But
we're not results-based analysis.
No, I'm just saying. I still don't think it. I don't think it was the right choice. I still think you should have picked Tristana.
I just want to make sure of Eldes.
But he has looked great on the Sejuani.
I agree.
So at least the comfort's there.
I'm with you. Einar is going to be taken here towards the top side. Morgan needs to be careful not to overstep.
Okay, he's going to get away from that one. Nice reaction from Morgan. As now this turret is just being...
Wait. Hold up.
Guys, are they going to get the inhibitor here? Really? I mean, Youngjae is going to come back, and in the 3v3, I think they have to respect. Now, Guma is here.
Oh, if they can cancel the backs, Karis actually should be able to just get the top side inhib.
Yeah, he should be able to get this inhib. Meanwhile, Faker trying to go back, but it's too late. I mean, this inhibitor is already going down. So he's going to give up on that. He goes mid. And now the TP's coming out from Karis, actually. The inhibitor already taken down. And T1 going to respect that TP and try to back away out of this one.
Feldes. Well, they really wanted to try. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
Oh, they're going bot. And there's zero vision in this jungle right now for Bro. Actually, there's one ward, sorry.
Like, they don't win. I don't think they win. Even with Tristana, I don't think they win the base race with the state of the wave.
I think they do. I think if they had all committed right there and we went,
yeah,
I don't know. It would have been really close. 6 grubs being pointed out on the side of T1 as well, which certainly would have helped them on the turrets.
I definitely think Breon made the right decision not to commit to a base race when they're in this good a position.
Yeah.
For T1, it would have been very in line with how they're playing this game out in general.
They're like, please end this game now.
One way or another.
Yeah. Well, they definitely want the win.
So as you're saying, especially when the series will continue further on, exhaustion is actually going to play a part. They're looking for a pick, but Morgan is respecting.
The gold leads in mid and 80 carry are huge.
Yeah.
It's 2,000 to 3,000 gold in favor of Bro. No deaths, so there are some pretty big shutdowns that have been built up for Karis and Samver. So maybe if T1 get a pick somewhere, that would be pretty big, but they need to get those picks. And right now it's not looking too likely as Bro, they want to start this one up, but there is a ward that spots it immediately.
That ward is really, really important. Because they don't have any control of the jungle outside of that. Breon, are they going to risk it?
I think they are. Owner has flash as well as he goes in very early, and it will go the way of Sejuani. Youngjae gets the smite down. T1 in an awful spot, but now they have the front to back here. Morgan is going to go down. Keria gets the bailout, and now K'Sante is going insane, but Faker in a really rough spot. He's going to go down. Guma and Zeus, the only ones left alive here, but the core of Bro are still here, still pushing, and they have a Baron buff once again. As they try to get on top of Guma, he's hopping around, he's trying to dodge, and he has dodged everything until that last stun. And he will be taken down as Bro, 3 members strong, will win the team fight.
Oh, that kill on Morgan, I think the biggest. If he can just TP towards top, they might have been able to end the game there. And T1, Breon called their bluff. Owner goes over, doesn't win the smite fight. And with that, Breon win the fight, take the objective. As you're taking a look, Owner, only way he over gets actually flashes away from the ultimate as well. Very nicely done, but he doesn't get the smite. And even though Samver gets the ultimate off on only Owner, he still ends up going down. And then it's some heroics from Zeus who actually gets the Q3 on top of Samver here, which ends up making this fight even remotely close, but unfortunately you don't have the damage with Faker goes down later on, but especially with Owner dying so early because he had to try and get the objective as Guma, you can hit, you can hop, but eventually you are going to get taken down. And now Soul there for Breon. 6k gold, leading another Baron goes their
Look
way.
at how fast the MF is. He's sprinting through the jungle and Faker's left all alone. Down he goes. Doesn't even have a chance to flash away.
I think that's it. Actually, I think that's should be enough. They can just push bot side in now, get the inhib there. And Breon, they're gonna get the game win. It's looking like Velves.
Not surprising to me in the slightest.
He called it at the top of day.
Yeah. And, bro, they're pushing. They have the Red Bull Baron power play ticking. They have 3,000 gold from that one. As the wave clear is there with the Brand and, you know, even the Cassante. But it's still going to be 2 inhibitors at least. And actually, with the top inhibitor already down, that will be number 3 once the mid inhibitor does go down. Deathless game so far for Youngjae and Karis. Just really clean stuff from the side of Bro, as they will punish T1, it looks like, in this second game, unless T1 can pull off the immaculate and miracle holds here, as they are going to get on top of Karis. He does go into his Zhonya's as he's just tanking the MF ult, but he doesn't seem to care. Down will go Karis, as T1 actually do have a chance here. The flash in from Morgan Guma is fine, but Zeus is not, and this MF is just way too large as Samber gonna take them all down. Faker gets stunned, and Bro is going to win game number 2. And a potential Penta to come in here of Samber.
No.
Can get close, but he's not gonna risk it. Bro just wants the win, and they will have it against T1.